When is the right time to franchise your business? Is it now? Is it a year from now? Is it never? This is an important question that you need to answer. Your business is growing. You know there's potential expansion, multi-unit growth opportunities. You're evaluating franchising, and you want to know when's the right time. And this is a conversation we have often with our clients. And the answer is really going to come down to a three-part framework that I'd suggest you evaluate. And it involves track record, industry, and founder goals. So let's evaluate these three areas and help determine, or at least give you a framework for deciding when franchising is right for you. So let's start off with track record. Things that we look at and evaluate when we're talking about track record: how long has your business been open? Whether or not you have developed your systems, right? You have good systems in place. Importantly, what are your unit level economics? And have you differentiated your business from your competition? So if we're considering franchising, I'm assuming that things are going well, your business is operating well, there's good profitability, sales are good and they're growing, and people are potentially asking about whether or not you're a franchise or if they could buy a franchise. All good signs, right? So from the track record perspective, one of the most important things that'll happen when you sell franchises is that your potential franchisees, people that may be looking to buy your franchise, they're going to have questions. They're going to ask, how much money can I make? How much money does your corporate locations make? What could I expect in earnings? And in the franchise world, we can't answer those questions. The only thing we can do is, within our franchise offering, disclose in what we call item 19, a financial performance representation. So for example, if you're a restaurant, we'd be disclosing gross sales, maybe less food cost, maybe less labor cost, to show gross profit. If you're in a retail-based business, we'd show gross sales, less of cost of goods sold. Again, showing some type of gross profit numbers, and same with a service-based business. So when you're evaluating whether or not you're ready to franchise, the most important question is, how's the performance of your business doing now? And when franchisees look at it, will they find it attractive? Now, when franchisees open up, they're not going to do as well as you are. They're going to have additional costs, such as franchise fees they're going to pay to you. So when you're evaluating when's the right time, well, how did the unit level economics look for your business right now? And will franchisees potentially be profitable even if they operate at lower sales and higher expenses? Now, there's other industries that are new and startup, whether it's a new food product category or whether it's a new low-cost service-based business. And in those cases, it's very rare that I would ever tell someone to franchise with less than a 1 or 2 year track record. But in certain cases, we've seen people successfully franchise their business and grow their franchise system in new industries where it was important to take that first mover advantage or that second mover advantage, especially when the startup costs are low, there's low risk for the franchisee candidates, and you want to gain footprint and market share. So second factor you should evaluate as to timing is industry. If you're in an industry that's super competitive, well, then I think you need, in your timing factor, make sure you're well capitalized and you're working with the right team to franchise. And also make sure your numbers, right, back to track record, when compared to your competition, is outperforming them or at least consistent with industry benchmarks. If not, then now may not be the right time to franchise. Focus on your numbers and maybe reapproach franchising 1, 2, 3 years from now. If your numbers are good or you have superior positioning, well, then you could evaluate it now. If your business is brand new or less than a 1 year operating track record, I'd strongly suggest that you're not ready for franchising. Wait till you at least have 1 full year of operation. The only caveat there being, if you're in a lower cost or very new market segment where there's hyper growth or potential hyper growth or potential profits and low cost, well, then there may be an advantage to first or second mover, gain that footprint, and then entering the franchise world even before 1 year of operation could make sense, but you need to also do it the right way. The third factor is founder goals. What's your goal? So when you're franchising, your goal should be, hey, I want to take my successful business. I want to leverage the franchising business model to grow, create multi-unit, multi-territory development to expand the reach of my brand. I'm looking to transition from business owner and operator to founder that's building this franchise organization, where I'm going to build a leadership team, franchisee training. So you have to envision all of this happening. It doesn't happen right away. And the good thing about franchising is it's scalable. We say often with our clients, and we have a development, we tell them to focus on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year process. Year one, you're launching your franchise, you're seasoning it in terms of your franchise brand story, third-party validation, selling a limited number of franchises to franchisee candidates that come to you organically. And then year 2, building up broker relationships, and then focusing on years 3 to 5 as your acceleration years. So why do I bring this up when we're talking about when is the right time to franchise? Well, consider that franchising's a scalable process. Your growth strategy should be based on the next 5 years. So when you're evaluating franchising today, just understand you're not going to franchise this year and have hundreds of franchisees the next year. No, it's a slow buildup. So there's positives here. You could scale into franchising, and if you have the right expectations, you understand your goals for years 1, 2, and 3, then franchising may be completely manageable for you right now when you consider that's going to be slowly scaling up. So it's important when you decide, when you're evaluating when the right time to franchise, it's important that you evaluate and understand franchise wins take at least 5 years, and you have to build up toward that process. So when's the right time? Your track record, right? If you have a long track record, you have a 1, 2, 3-year track record, you have good financial numbers, you have key differentiators where you outperform your competition, well, right now may be the perfect time. And when you consider founder goals and the fact that franchising is a process, right? We're going to focus over the next 5 years. That may be even more of an incentive to say I should franchise right now, because franchise success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process over 5 years at least, right? Other factors we're going to consider: industry. If you're in a super competitive industry where there's a number of franchise brands in your industry that are out there and large, then you're going to evaluate, is this year the right year? Do I have the right capital? If you're in a new startup industry, well, you may want to take advantage, that first mover advantage, and franchise right now. Key is align your positioning. You need good track record. You need to have the right understanding of your industry, and you really need to align your goals as a founder and a leader, what you want out of franchising. So if these things align, you should be franchising right now. And if they don't, that's okay, right? Use the time, use the next 1, 2, 3 years to position yourself. So when you do franchise, you're going to have an advantage. And most important thing, if you don't, whether you franchise or don't franchise, if your trademarks are not registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, go have them registered now. Don't wait for the franchising process. We have so many clients with amazing businesses that come to us. They've never protected their trademark in the past with a USPTO registration, and sometimes they have to rebrand. And that's a manageable process itself. But when we're thinking about timing, no matter when the right time is, start protecting your trademarks right now.